Good Lord, baby Jesus. Proximity does not mean peership. Proximity does not mean peership. Okay? The secondhand embarrassment from that is the secondhand embarrassment that a lot of people will encounter when you think that proximity means peership. When you think that because you're in the same crowd or room or job or neighborhood or gym, that automatically means that you and the other person are peers. And as a result of that, you start exhibiting behaviors and doing certain actions that translate as though we're the same. Right? So let me give you guys a quick lesson on how proximity does not mean peership. And because many people don't understand this concept, you will become more picky with where you frequent, because a lot of people in proximity to you automatically believe that you're both peers. Let's get into the video. When you understand what proximity does to people mentally, and I have a lot of videos on proximity. If this is a subject that interests you, I have a lot of videos on proximity. And if you understand the concept of proximity, you're going to change where you go. You're going to be picky with the type of environments that you frequent. You're going to be picky with how you carry yourself around certain environments. You want to know why? Because in the mind of people, proximity means peership. Okay? People think that because they're in the same building as you, the same company as you, they go to the same church as you, they're the same skin color as you, they're the same gender as you, they live in the same neighborhood as you, they go to the same park, they think that means they're your peer. Automatic. They automatically in their mind believe that you and them.
If you don't resonate or align with my teachings, then my content is not for you. Avoid commenting, subscribing, or interacting. Instead, go to a page where you resonate. If you comment something foul, disrespectful, or like something foul or disrespectful, you will be blocked. I will also block you if you comment any contradictory to my message. I don't post for your agreement, so please think about that before you run and comment, I don't agree. Think about that. It doesn't matter. I post what I am led to post. Your agreement or okay was never needed. I don't need your permission. Let's get into it.
Are the same. Men and women alike struggle with this. Men and women struggle with the subject of proximity because people don't talk about this subject because, one, it's non-conventional. People don't talk about it because it can bruise and hurt a lot of egos. People don't talk about it because it's a way for you to protect yourself as a person. And nobody's going to tell you how to protect yourself. Okay? Nobody's really going to teach you how to protect yourself socially. They'll tell you to lock your doors. They'll tell you to, be careful. Don't go running at 3 a.m. But not many people teach you how to protect yourself socially. And the reality is when people are in proximity to you, they think that means peership. And they're going to start to act out of bounds. They're going to start to have no boundaries with the way they act. Because in their mind, you and them are the same. Okay, let's get into it. Oh my God. That, I can't really watch. I couldn't get through that. That was very, 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 very awful. If anybody remembers that, please, love to Lil Mama, but please don't let that be you. Right? This is what happens when somebody believes that proximity means peer. Right? Where did the proximity happen? They're all at the same award show, right? So everybody's kind of mixed together in the crowd, right? So the proximity's there, and then people just think, oh, proximity, so we're all peers. So she went on the stage with 2 moguls who had a hit song at the time. I don't know if you guys remember that Empire State of Mind. When that song came out, it was a big deal, especially for New Yorkers. If you're a New Yorker, you know what I'm talking about. That was a big deal, especially for New Yorkers. And because the Empire State Building is also in New York. So they're doing that. And because of the proximity, Lil Mama's like, oh, we're peers. I can just go up there and just show out and have a good time. And what's crazy is, even though that was a physical representation, I want you guys to understand that a lot of people think that way. Like the action that Lil Mama did, many people in their mind, that's how they think. That because they're in the same room as you, same church, same job, same gym, same color, same gender, people believe that you're automatically peers. And because they believe that you're automatically peers, they overstep boundaries. Charlamagne understood that. Watch this clip.
Next to Alicia Keys and Jay-Z.
That's when I realized that you were delusional as hell. Because what made you feel like you could get up and go on stage with Alicia Keys and Jay-Z?
What made her feel like she could do that, to answer Charlamagne's question, is proximity. That is what made her feel like she could do that. Proximity. I'm in the same room as them. We are around the same kind of people. We're at the same award show. Why not? Proximity also works this way with race. I honestly believe that the way a lot of Black men and Black women come at other Black people, they don't come at non-Blacks in that way. The way that a lot of Black women disrespect other Black women that look like them, they don't have that energy for white women. They don't have that energy for Spanish women. Right? The way that some Black men will drive and call a Black woman the B word automatically, they're not going to do that to a white woman. They're not going to do that to a Hispanic woman. But because we're both Black, I get a pass from you. Right? You see this in so many different categories. It even happens with gender. A woman thinks that you don't have to be respected. Although you're a woman and you're a manager or you're in a different position than her, you don't need to be respected. I'm a woman, you're a woman, we both have proximity in gender. I don't need to respect you. That's kind of how this stuff works. So let's get more into it. That is Charlamagne letting her know, whoa, like, why did you do that? Why get on stage with them? Why didn't you just stay in your seat? That's so wild to me. Like, why? Again, many people believe that proximity means that you are peers. So it's good for you to make an assessment so you don't embarrass yourself as well as a person. Please assess if somebody's even your peer, because a lot of people, it's like the person's not your peer. That's the problem. And you're approaching them like they are. This is very popular with women. I always tell women all the time, just because another woman is a woman doesn't mean she's your friend. You don't get to talk to her crazy. Mind your words, use your manners, have boundaries. Okay, you can't talk to a woman that you don't know like you know her. Again, this is the peers thing. You know, this is why women want to be your friend and they don't even know you that well and they just met you. It's because you're both female. It's like we're automatically peers and we can automatically be friends. That's just not how it works, not in the real world. The peer thing, the peer conversation is a really big deal to me, because I have learned at this age that it's not everybody who's your peer. And a lot of people are going to think that because you're the same gender, because you're the same age, because you go to the same church, because you go to the same workplace, because you're the same gender, that means that you're peers. And it does not. It does not. Practically it does. But if you're not careful, you're going to have people around you who are not your peers. And as a result of that, it's going to cause a lot of damage to your progression. Think about every time in your life that you've aligned yourself with somebody who was not at your level and what happened. What happened when you dated the guy who was not at your level? What happened when you dated the woman who was not at your level? What happened when you befriended a woman who was not at your level? It ends in chaos. This reminds me of that scene with Naomi Campbell.
Naomi, I have to say though, the way I feel about this is I don't agree with your decision.
This is my elimination room, and I chose in what's out there. I'm an editor of a magazine in Russia and in Germany, and you, Nushka, and she did not touch it.
Naomi, we know modeling for Cavalli and Versace and Dior for fittings that you go for fittings the night before,
don't compare.
and they
Don't
shorten your
compare
dress. They would
yourself
never
to me.
They would
ever.
never make you
You
walk
are
in a dress
not on my
that
level,
much
Nicole.
longer.
You never will be on my level. Do not compare yourself to me. When I worked for Gianni Versace, I never touched my dress. Show me a picture. Go on the internet. You make the best of it.
I'm not talking about me here. We're not talking about you. We're talking about the girl.
I base my mentoring on responsibility.
Now, you see in that scene, Naomi Campbell says, Nicole, you are not on my level. And Naomi had to check Nicole and let Nicole know, because Nicole was getting out of line. It's like she forgot that if we pull out the portfolio here, there's a huge difference between you and Naomi. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Okay? Because a lot of times when we have these conversations, people think that it's, oh, you think you're better or you think you're not better. Stop taking everything personal. This is real life. Okay? An entry-level employee is not the peer of their manager. This is real life. Okay? This is real life. This is not about feelings and stuff like that. This is about the structure of society and the structure of who you are as a person. Because if you're not capable and able to realize when somebody is not your peer, you're going to deal with a whole lot of nonsense from people. People need to address their peers. They need to bother their peers. They need to go toe to toe with their peers. Okay? Naomi Campbell had to tell her, Nicole, you are not on my level. I don't think Naomi Campbell wasn't talking about personally. She was talking about resume wise. Right? Naomi was in the game longer. Naomi has walked with certain designers that Nicole didn't walk with. And what made it the worst is Nicole was getting too comfortable because she had proximity to Naomi. That's the problem. Especially with women, the minute a woman has proximity to you, she automatically thinks that you're peers. It's automatic. Right? Because again, in the community of women, there is no hierarchy anyways. So women can't even tell when another woman is not their peer. They just assume we're all women, so we're all peers. And the same thing with men. Some men online gives them access to certain women that they would not have access to on their day-to-day, right? That you're not peers. You know, you guys don't run in the same lane, right? But that proximity makes you feel that way, right? It's the same thing with, again, there's a lot that goes into this, but because Nicole had proximity to Naomi, she tried to check Naomi on something that she couldn't check Naomi on because Naomi has more experience than her. That's why Naomi had to remind her. Naomi had to say, I walked with Gianni Versace. When I walked with Versace, you were not allowed to touch your dress. It's like Naomi shouldn't even have had to explain herself to Nicole because they're not peers. As a matter of fact, Nicole was supposed to ask Naomi, well, what do you think? But instead she was challenging her because that proximity made Nicole believe me and Naomi are peers. Okay? That's why a woman can have her whole life together and she goes and entertains a guy that's getting by. And the fact that you're even acknowledging him, he automatically feels like he's your peer. So when things don't work out in the relationship and you leave him and you start calling him all these names, oh, you're not smart, you don't know anything, you don't have anything, all this stuff. He tells you, but you picked me, but you had a baby with me. And is he wrong? He's your peer. You picked him. He's your peer. You can't talk about levels after you procreate with a man. He is at your level because you lay down with him. So when you understand the conversation of peers, a peer is someone at your own level. Okay? Whatever that level is for you, whatever you consider your level, I don't know. Everybody has their own individual metrics. But you have to be careful with the proximity that people have to you will always make them feel like they are your peer. Okay, that's just how it is in the world. So a lot of times you're gonna have to essentially look at the individual to determine if the individual is a peer for you. And some people just in their mind, they think they're your peer, and you have to remind them that they're not. Because if you don't, things are going to start to get messy and things are going to start to get uncomfortable for you. And you know when you're not somebody's peer as well. Meaning, don't talk to your boss the way that you would talk to your friend. Okay, you know, a lot of people, you know, I don't know if this also goes back to social awkwardness. A lot of people, it's like, and I'm encountering this a lot with women too. It's like, some women, they get it, right? Some women are very respectful, very well-mannered. But some women talk to all women like very crazy, in a very crazy way. And it's like, do you know that you don't know that woman that well? You can't talk to a woman you don't know that well. You can't tell your boss that, you know? And it's like, they don't really, again, it goes back to the whole peer thing. Know who your peers are and know who your peers are not, so that you are not you're not essentially making a mockery out of yourself and causing other people to make a mockery out of you. Okay? You have to be willing to weaponize your masculinity as a woman. Masculinity is not bad. Masculine energy is not bad. I don't know why people keep saying that. Masculine energy is the ability to reach a goal. Masculinity is what? Goal-oriented, structurally, orderly, being able to show up on time's precision, logic, rationality. Nothing about that is bad. So with the October spooky season coming around and holiday season, make sure you guys are okay being the villain. Yes, villainhood is a real thing, and that's what this class is going to talk about. We are going to speak on the characteristic traits and approaches you have to take when you are no longer living your life to be accepted and validated by people while accepting their bad behavior. Sometimes being the protector in your book looks like being a villain in another person's book. It's all a psychological mind game. If you don't choose yourself, if you don't choose your happiness, if you are not unapologetically you and winning without feeling apologetic about it, guess what? People are going to view you as a villain. But if you already walk in villainhood, it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is going to be a good class, especially in conjunction with weaponizing your masculinity. You have to get comfortable with being viewed as a villain. You need a strong mental mind to accept people villainizing you because you are being and doing your best.